What's up, you guys? It's Ali. Welcome back to my channel. Where's Ali? I am your eccentric nomad, you guys, and I'm bringing you a well-weighted video. I'm going to be talking about my experience and trip to Colombia, but specifically talking about two cities, Santa Marta and Cartagena. The what I thought. So I'm going to give y'all some of the statistics and things about each city. But I'm just going to share with you my opinions about each. And kind of leave it up if you guys have any other questions you can ask me about them. Both Cartagena and Santa Marta are on the coast, so we're doing a fair comparison. They're on the coast of Colombia. Santa Marta is more north, and Cartagena is more west. Okay, so you can do like some history on Colombia and all of that. I'm gonna give you some little tidbits to know about. Let's start with Santa Marta first, because I think a lot of people have been to Cartagena. It is known as a tourist kind of hotspot and stop. And certain people go to Santa Marta, and you kind of understand a little bit why. But this is the well-weighted video that I have been doing for quite some time. So you guys, just a heads up, I was in Colombia 2022 from I think October, November, and December. So the end of October, all of November, all of December. So a little over 2 months, but not a whole lot, a little over 2 months. And I got to experience 4 different cities while I was there, 2 inland and 2 on the coast. And here's my breakdown. All right, so Santa Marta is one of those places that can be a year-round destination. It's tropical, it's warm. You got beaches, you have that city kind of, you have some upscale or more updated, I should say, like high rises and things like that. But the history of Santa Marta, it is one of the first Spanish settlements in Colombia. Population is around 500,000 people. Again, it's a coastal city. It's north of Barranquilla. I'll be saying that wrong, y'all. Don't crucify me. I tried. Y'all see, I got the key up, which is northeast of Cartagena. A lot of people go to visit Minca, which is an area where a lot of people do spa, do waterfalls, just check out the nature side of Colombia. There's a park there, Tayrona National Park. A lot of people go there, do trekking, do day trips. They either go by water or you can go by land. And I think you have to have a tour guide for that, if I'm not mistaken. Santa Marta, to me, did not have a lot of plant-based options. In the Old Town area, they did have some restaurants because it's more geared towards like a tourism vibe. So they did have some of that, but it was definitely lacking. Like French fries was my go-to, and dare not, y'all, if you don't know me and have not been out with me, I rarely will order a salad out at a restaurant, especially at tourist prices. I didn't do it in the States. I doggone sure probably won't be doing it in another country, especially if it's $12, $15. Just, I mean, it has to be like one of the best salads. Yeah, it's a sliced bread. One of the areas that I stayed in, so I stayed in like the Post Coast, Colorado's area, and I also stayed in the Old Town, more like the downtown, right outside the downtown area in Santa Marta. And the Los Post Coast, Colorado's area is really safe. It's from what I can see, it's quiet. There's a lot of construction they are building up, and I stayed in an amazing high rise that I would actually almost consider like a resort kind of situation. But I'm going to tell you guys, the high rise did not have a restaurant, and there was not a restaurant within walking distance. For the most part, you would have to go a couple kilometers or so inland to the next area, which was very well known for restaurants and stuff, and everything was touristy there. But it was really, it was quaint, it was quiet, it was pretty. The beach was nice. It was hot, so it clicked all those bells, right? Okay, so next up, I'm just going to share a little bit about like the Old Quarter area. So it is there's a marina there. So location of Old Quarter is like right in the heart of Santa Marta. From there, while there was a lot of touristy type of restaurants and things like that, and you have the marina right there. There was a beach, but it was very, very small, always packed. So the locals loved the beach. And then there was a little hiking area that you could get to, which was about 15 minutes away, and that was in Taganga. If you go to Taganga, it's also another like big touristy hub. It must be like just a little stop for boating, for tourist shops, some bars and things like that. There are apartments and things over there, but there was this cool hike up and through the cliff area, which was really neat to actually see. Something you could almost do every day. But again, it was about a 15-minute drive, probably a 45-minute walk from the downtown area of Santa Marta. It's also 40 minutes from Minka, which is, like I said, where everybody tends to go, where the waterfalls are, sanctuaries, yoga, a place of peace and zen. There's also this area which is about, I think, 3 or 4 hours away or so, something like that, but it's called the Lost City. You'd have to do a tour from Santa Marta, and you can go into the Lost City. They have a place called Sierra Nevada, and it's like a 4-day trek and can be upwards of about 300 USD. So all in all, Santa Marta has an interesting vibe. I was told it was cleaner than Cartagena. It's safer. There's more to do. If you want like a chill kind of vibe or whatever, it's the place to go. I'll tell you at the end of this video if that information is true or not.
Ellie, do you like salchipapa?
Sí.
Yes.
So, sin carne, though.
Sin carne.
Sin carne.
Cartagena is known as their original port city. Back in the 11th century, they built the wall. It became the fortress for defense. It's named after Cartagena, Spain. And it was the port for Bolivian silver to Spain. A population of about 915,000 people back in 2020 census. And it's also known for the Asiento de Negros system. So look that up so you can learn more about it. One of those cities that has a lot of charm, a lot of history, and a lot of that is built right in that walled center area. It's obviously formerly a Spanish colony. And it has some, it's very eclectic in the style of neighborhoods that you'll find within a short radius of one another. So they have like a newer, more upscale, kind of trendier, more modern area, which is Boca Grande. I actually stayed in that area. They also have Mango, which is more of a suburban style kind of area. Of course, the walled city, which gives you a taste and a flavor of the history and the culture of Colombia. A couple of the things that I think are neat about Cartagena is, one, they have trekking, which is very similar to paragliding. You're just on a tricycle kind of thing, and I think that's what propels you, because I don't know that they have cliffs. I didn't know this, otherwise I would have done it. They also have a lot of tours and boats that go to the island. So they do a lot of island tours. You can actually do a tour. It's not gonna, I don't know if it lands in Cartagena. I think it's a little south of Cartagena, but you can go from Panama to Cartagena or to Colombia or back, and they go through like those 400 different islands that are in between. They're y'all amazing. Some of them are inhabited and some are not. They also have San Andres Island, which you can actually fly into, or you could take a boat over. Hop on, hop off bus. You can check that out. They got cooking classes. And then they have what I consider one of the best cultural and historical things still there in the city. And that is a tour to San Basilio de Barranquilla. It's one of the villages that was created by former African descendants who were formerly enslaved and escaped and built their own villages. Spaniards and others would call them maroons, which means fugitives or unruly people because they fought back. Okay, we'll get into that, y'all know. Anyway, they're one of the cultures and groups of people who were able to separate themselves from being in these spaces where they were enslaved and being forced to work and stuff, and created their own village. They have been doing their best to remain that way, to remain as authentic as they possibly can, continuing that lifestyle, continue with their practices, their religious beliefs, how they do things. And I got an opportunity to make my way through that village with a tour, and a Black-owned tour company. So I definitely will share that with you guys so you guys can patronize them. And they were fantastic, super informative. Accommodations and everything were great. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the skinny on some of the things: safety, cleanliness for Cartagena. Cartagena, to me, I stayed in Boca Grande and I walked all over the old city, and Cartagena was cleaner, unbelievably cleaner, and hopefully I'll share some of that with you guys in the video so you can see the streets. And safety, I walked around. I went on New Year's Eve, y'all. I didn't hear one firework. Super quiet. So many options: food, walk to the beach, different areas. I walked all around Boca Grande. I even walked from the walled city to Boca Grande. It's like a 30-minute walk, and I walked all around, not Old City, walled city. I walked all around the walled city solo, perfectly safe. I was surprised actually, because I chose not to stay in the walled city because of all the things that I've heard, and and you're not gonna like it. It's not clean. It's dirty. It's loud. It's all this stuff. And keep in mind, I was there 3 or 4 days, something like that, end of the year. So it was New Year's Eve. So I was already like, oh boy, this is gonna be something else. So what is my overall feel and thought about Santa Marta versus Cartagena? I already shared with you cleanliness and the safety thing. I had one incident happen in Santa Marta that I have not happened in all of my travels, and that was and this is a story I have been planning to share with you guys that I had not shared, but I did have one incident, and actually I'll share it in a separate video because I don't want to make this longer than it needs to be. But it was a safety kind of issue, and it could have ended up violently. So I'll share more of that separately in a separate video. So let me just get back to some comparisons. So cost, a lot of people say Cartagena is more expensive because it's a touristy place. So cost wise, I mean, it likely is comparable, but if I'm gonna pay that, I want to at least be in a place where there's options. You have access and options to do and get to and from places. Flights from into Santa Marta from, say, Bogota or Medellin, $30-$40 one way, and flights to and from, say, Cartagena, maybe a little bit more from Bogota or Medellin. Also, in terms of flying there from like the US, Cartagena is an easier flight, and a lot of times you'll catch flight deals to Cartagena. I did find that in Cartagena there were more food options, but still not a lot of vegetarian, plant-based options. It just wasn't really set up for that. Not like when I was inland in Medellin or Cali. Tons and tons of options in those places, but fewer on the coast. And maybe I didn't scope it enough. As far as transportation goes, Cartagena was great. And I stated before, was no ride share in Santa Marta. The hotel arranged the cabs and stuff, and it was not very expensive. But in Cartagena, Uber worked, and was comparable as well. Very easy to order an Uber, and right from your location. So I thought that was great. I like having rideshare access. I like being able to decide how I'm going to move around, and so I thought that was a nice plus. They probably have rides here in Santa Marta. I'm going to check back on that. Because once you're in the old city, you kind of just walk around and then there's cabs everywhere. So you just jump into a cab. As far as things to do, I found that both places had ample options of things to do. Whether if you're wanting more touristy type excursions and things, Cartagena is likely going to be more your cup of tea. I didn't really check out the nightlife except for one night I ended up hanging out with a group of people that coincides with the incident that I had in Santa Marta. I did not go out at all when I was in Cartagena. Didn't hear any partying. I know they have clubs and all of that kind of stuff, but didn't hear or see any of it. So I can't really speak to that. But let me just give you my final thought on which place I liked more. Was it Cartagena or was it Santa Marta? Cartagena, hands down. If I'm not doing waterfalls or something like that, which you can still get in Cartagena, if I'm not doing something like that or going on some retreat Minka or do this trek thing to the old city, I can't see any reason to go to Santa Marta over Cartagena. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will share even more of my experience. Hopefully some of the videos in here give you a little view of the towns. You guys let me know what you think. Have you been to both? Anyway, let me know you guys' thoughts. I appreciate you guys as always. If you guys like this video, find it helpful, please click that subscribe button, that like button, and share. And click the notification bell. I don't know where it's going to be, so I'll just click the notification bell so you're notified when I post a new video. We got more that's going to be coming up. Click on my link tree to get access to my house sitters link so you can get your 25% off and you can start house sitting like I am currently. I have also my travel journal link in there. You can click on that and purchase your travel journal directly off of Amazon. I'm going to have some with me starting in October. So if I happen to see you, you can get it directly from me. My link for my travel course is also in the link tree, so you guys can check that out as well. As I feel like I'm forgetting to, I have merchandise too, so t-shirts and stuff. If you've got a t-shirt idea or a little saying that I say all the time, you're like, Ali, you should put that on a shirt or a mug, let me know and I will design it and get it out there. I appreciate you guys. Oh, you can also buy me a coffee. But if you send me something with the buy me a coffee link, it also will help me get books, and I'll share with you like a cool book store that I just found here in, where am I? Chiang Mai, Thailand. So a $5 coffee would actually get me a couple of different books. So you can buy me a book, a coffee, a meal, a beer. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys know the drill. Toodles and noodles. Peace and happiness.